Hey everyone, welcome to another Tuesday Newsday with Sinzar. He just ruined my intro a few seconds ago, but it's good. We're good to go now. Hey Sinzar.
Take two.
Take two, take two. Yeah. Well, like last time we did a pod episode, we actually I didn't even edit. Just me and Dream chatting in the beginning was in it. That was really good. Good shit. Okay, so holy crap, I was just saying before this episode, there's like 20 relevant news items to talk about.
Very exciting week, unlike last week that didn't even deserve a podcast episode.
Well, okay, so there are things that happened in all of our lives that made it really difficult to produce one, and I felt like we at least guys did the reaction to the live stream, so that's fine. Listen, let's not talk about that anymore. It's in the past.
In the past.
It's in the past. Okay, but I'm excited many weeks, but this week has me extra excited. But let's not talk about why I am excited yet. Let's talk about a new unit that we're getting. We're getting Maeve. This is a GLEX, right?
It is. Yep.
So that should always get us really excited, right? She looks really cool. She has kind of like a boar warrior vibe to her. So what is she?
She is a dual tank. She tanks physical on the base, magical in the shift. Based on the preview stream, we know she has morale scaling damage. She also has a barrier that scales its potency based on your morale gauge. We don't know the actual numbers yet, but could be interesting.
Okay. Well, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say it seems like kind of foreshadowing, like maybe the next Kyle boss is going to just be like a supreme like damage dude that destroys your team, and you really want crazy good tank, and then super huge morale barriers.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Like. I agree,
but of course it's gonna suck. Well, I mean that's usually the case. It would suck a bit if it's kind of also a dual damage type boss where like up to a certain amount of percentage you want physical, and you want to drop down to magical, and then you want to go back to physical. Of course, Maeve is really best in slot for that if she's good, right? If her mitigation is on par. I guess like the only other alternative we would have would be Snow, right?
For Neovision's tanks, I do believe Seacard as well, technically, but he does have the cover. It is on a cooldown, but depending on the boss's AI, it could be an option.
Yeah, true. Yeah, depending on how many turns you have to live with one of the magical cover.
Mm-hmm.
True. Yeah, let's see. It's very exciting. I am very excited about tanks in general, even though I shouldn't be, because obviously tanks are not as relevant as a unit lately.
It's the same thing for me. Like, she's probably not going to see much use in Dark Visions if I had to guess. But still, I am really happy for this unit before seeing the kit, and I do intend to pull for her, assuming she's at the very least decent. As long as she's a decent or better, I'll go for it.
I mean, you never know, right? Because we just did get a pretty bad GLEX, or actually, I really don't want to call Olivera bad, because I don't think Olivera is a bad unit. Olivera is just not a top tier unit. But we got like a mech unit, right? So maybe this is Maeve's time to shine, right?
It is true, and even though Olivera, I agree with you, is underwhelming, I still pulled for him on the last day anyway.
Yeah, I enjoyed Olivera. I like saw, even used him. So hey, like or them.
For me, it's just like I have like really drawn a line in the sand where I am just all in for Clash of Wills and just don't really care about Dark Visions anymore. Like I didn't pull for any of the mana units. I decided. As a result, my rank is suffering currently. I don't have Angela. That's the big deal this week.
Yeah,
I don't have her. So, but I'm gonna go for Clash of Wills unit. So I'm gonna go for this unit, and I'm gonna do good in Clash of Wills and make up my bad rank from Vision World.
Your bad rank, yeah. You have to realize that when Sinzar says he has bad rank, he's still like top 500, at least. Like you're top 100 still, right?
I'm actually 310 currently, so I am slowly dropping.
Oh, so it dropped that much? Because I remember on your speed clear video, you said at that point you were like 12, right? Or something like that.
I was, and then within the hour, I was down 100. So
Yeah, listen. So
lesson learned:
yeah,
don't
listen.
post videos.
Don't post videos. Exactly. That's what I want to tell you. Like, that's the big mistake, right? You're posting these videos, making it easier for other people. All right. Because, like, the first thing I did after your video came out was like, oh, hey, this looks like an easy clear. I should do this. And I did it. So, yeah. But okay. Yeah. I mean, but scores have shifted severely. I think I'm probably top 2K now or something. It's ridiculous. But okay, so Maeve, I mean, she looks really cool, and you know what? There is this slim chance. There is this slim chance because so far they have not delivered a defense or spirit scaling unit that has been powerful since Shuan Wu, Shui Wu, yeah.
Correct. Correct.
But there is this slim chance, tiny ass chance that she actually does relevant like burst damage. It could be like damage on a Magnus that she can only do once, and you could actually use it in Cow. That would be really cool.
Certainly hope so. One thing to point out is the global version does not have the patch to fix variants for weapons, which also comes with the patch to remove the logarithmic damage formula, which means even though she uses defense as her damage stat, the fact that she has 50 attack on the weapon, she's getting like a 60% penalty to her total damage because of the formula.
Right.
And
they fixed this. Who did they fix this for? They gave it like 180 attack on a completely irrelevant weapon. That happened recently, right?
It was AFMA's STMR. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
AFMA was a defense scaling DPS, well, quote unquote DPS, but she was technically had DPS skills, even though it was trash. But yeah, but because her STMR had 0 attack power, she had like an 80% damage penalty. So Global fixed that. They are not fixing that for Maeve, and that's concerning.
That's shame. That's a shame. I definitely think this is like, since you basically work at Gumi, Cesar, you should talk to your manager and have them correct this mistake before she goes out, because it would suck if this unit actually has the potential to not be just a dead slot as a tank, but actually contribute to your team's damage. In some way, like she doesn't have to do Sephiroth level damage or Sky level damage or whatever, but still, that would be cool. That'd be cool.
I hope so. And the maintenance this week is 9 hours, which usually means client update. So it is possible they're bringing that early. It would be early for global, but it's possible.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that could definitely, I mean, that's the best fix, right? But we actually get the fix. Would that also give us the proper variance on shit, right? That's the same fix.
Yes, that would make great swords and katanas the same power as two-handed like guns and fists. It would also fix double hand jumpers. It's a great patch, and I would love for it to come early.
Yeah, that's actually very relevant when we get into upgrades of units soon, because there is one unit that could actually benefit a bit from that as well. But let's just stay on Maeve just for a slight more moment. So we already touched on her STMR. It is a hammer with defense spirit 180 each, and of course 50 attack, which is why she gets a big penalty to her damage. Otherwise, like a pretty like this STMR, we've seen it come in many shapes and forms lately. I feel like we've seen it come in. Afmao has a identical but fist. Snow has like similar but axe, right? Or something.
Snow's the fist as well, actually.
Yeah,
both Afmaw and Snow use fist. It's kind of weird, but it is.
Yeah. So it's not much more to say, right? It's probably a really nice stat stick if you need that extra bulk.
Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be best in slot on her, and it's probably gonna be best in slot for most other tanks if they can use hammers. Most actually cannot, but some can.
Yeah, that really disappointed me with Duran, because he has to it's so hard to gear him because his weapon has no defensive stats. But he needs his STMR, and he also needs to wield a sword. So he oh my god, don't get me started. We didn't do an episode on Duran, I'm sorry, but that irks the shit out of me.
Oh, you're talking about like using him as a tank?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you use him like with a shield then?
Yeah, you would, but he has to use a sword. So you can't put Afmao's fist on him, or Snow's fist for that matter, because
so you probably want like Galoof's TMR then.
Yeah, Galoof or like Warrior of Light or whatever. It's super dumb. It's like these it's stupid. It's just stupid. They should have he gets so many bonuses to his defense, like equipment defense, because he wears a sword and he needs his TMR. So, and his TMR is also not a defensive. Oh my god, this is so dumb. I just don't even want to talk about it anymore. Okay, like this, his gearing is stupid. Anyway,
Understood.
is her TMR any good though?
I mean, it's fine. It's for a TMR, it's wonderful, but
Actually,
if we're
that's true. These are stats are fantastic for a TMR.
yeah, but if we're being honest, I would assume best in slot's going to be either Gabranth's STMR or Wilhelm's STMR, or I guess one of those two.
Yeah, but
Depending if
this
you
is
need
not far
Gabranth.
off. Like I
Yeah,
mean,
this is still really good.
yeah, it's. I mean, Gabranth has what, like 110 or 115 defense or something, maybe. I don't remember.
By memory, it's like 120 defense, 30 HP, and 500 flat HP. So it's way better for defense.
Okay.
As far as the spirit side goes, I think this is actually pretty close as far as spirit goes. I think Wilhelm's STMR is 110 spirit and 20 HP. So you're trading 10 HP, 10% HP for 10 flat spirit, which may or may not be better. This has resist on it too, so this could actually be better in some scenarios.
Yeah. Then we also know she has some EX abilities. A bit weird because her EX ability seems to be 500 defense, not spirit. So
that's probably for the base form, and the shift form I'm sure has 500 spirit as well.
Oh, you're thinking that's what they do, right? Of course,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Same thing for Olivera. The base form EX ability is 500 magic, and the shift form EX ability is 500 MP.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the same thing.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. I hope that's the case, of course, because that makes her. Yeah, I mean, then she won't have a gimped tank ability, I guess.
I certainly hope so.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's gonna be super interesting to see, especially see how that barrier scales, right? Like that could be very interesting. If it's like a huge barrier, imagine like 100% morale, and you hit this, and you get like 30k barrier or something. That'd be nice. But yeah, I am excited. I'm excited for this unit. Honestly, I really am.
I will briefly point out, we do know the unit is Earth aligned from the stream. We also know the current the coming Clash of Wills boss is weak to Earth. And we see from the preview, her barrier is on a 5-turn cooldown. I'm wondering if we're going to see a lot of play with Aroka cooldown reduction to do that barrier more often.
Oh, that's such an interesting thought, actually. That is such an interesting thought. So technically, how often, like, what can Roka do? She can only reduce cooldowns 2 times,
she can,
1 turn each, right? Or
assuming she's EX3, she can do her SLB to do a 2-turn cooldown reduction every 3rd turn.
Oh shit! Yeah.
And she can also do the Magnus 1-turn reduction. I forget how many. I think 5 or 6 times per fight.
That many? Okay, nice. Okay, so that's actually really interesting because also, yeah, then like you pop this on turn 1. Well, probably not turn 1. You probably want to build morale, but if she already has SLB on turn 3, right? You might actually be able to use it again soon. So that's interesting. Wow. Okay, that's a very interesting prediction. I hope we get to see some of that then. But again, I just don't. I want to go back to just how awesome her sprite is. Honestly, I think this is a very cool sprite. Don't know what you think.
I'm kind of mixed on it. On the one hand, I agree. She looks interesting. She reminds me of Elia from Chrono Trigger, the prehistoric woman.
Yeah, a bit. Yeah, she has that prehistoric vibe. You know who she also reminds me of? So hey, I'm a huge weeb, but the Demon Slayer anime, like there is this boarhead dude. I hope I'm not spoiling the story for anyone. She kind of gives me vibes of that. I don't know if you're an anime person, but I definitely see it.
I haven't seen that one, but I'll say the thing I don't like is I'm actually more of like a classic fan of like unit roles, and I think a tank should look like a tank. Like I hate phasey, I hate that kind of design.
You know,
like,
I feel you actually. She does look like a berserker. She looks like she's ready to, bash some skulls in and not tank a huge amount of damage.
I want to see her with the full plate, the big tower shield. That's what I want to see on a tank. Yes. That's just my preference.
No, hey,
but her sprite, yeah, it looks good overall though.
Yeah, but I agree with you fully, like 100%. That's why I like Behemi, because that motherfucker looks like he can take a hit.
He looks like a tank, Wilhelm or like Gabranth, etc.
Wilhelm is also a great example. He looks like a literal tank, like a World War I tank, and like I like that. I agree. That aesthetic is important. This is like she looks very much like a berserker, like she is doing damage, and maybe she was initially. I don't know. But very interesting. So Earth tank, of course, that's Behemi is also an Earth tank, but she does have that dual role thing, and let's see how her morale abilities scale and work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's move on to the part that has me fucking excited. Okay, so I'm always excited about GLEX, but we're like, oh my god, Noppy is getting a global upgrade. Okay, this is the most deserved global upgrade until we get a Roberta global upgrade. Okay, because oh my god, I'm so happy about this.
It is true. When Napi came out, of the 6 fan design units, this one was, arguably the absolute worst one because she just didn't have a place in the meta where all the other 6 or all the other 5
Yep.
had, they had a few fights. Cacteria is also questionable, which is, again, a great
She
that
was a
she's being
very strong
upgraded.
breaker for a long time, though. Like she really
She,
was.
she, she was, but you didn't really see Cacteria ever on like a top Clash team or a top Dark Visions team. It never had Cacteria on it.
Yeah.
So while she was good, it just wasn't. She wasn't like meta.
No,
Now they
I
might
agree.
be.
And Noppy kind of fell definitely into the same category. Noppy was never bad. She also had this weird thing that Duran has where she was really good at sustain damage, but nobody gives a fuck about sustain damage. So it's really like a non-talent to have, unfortunately.
Exactly.
But yeah, but hey, first before we even get into these details, we're getting unit upgrades. Okay, that's huge for us in GL. Like the JP players, go fuck yourself. You're getting this all the time. This is huge for us. Okay, we're actually getting old units to maybe become relevant-ish. We still don't know anything, right?
Well, we got some preview stuff. Like we know Napi is getting a great sword in peril. We know Cacteria's fist in peril is increasing in power. And we got a few number changes. Like we saw that Cacteria is getting a on-demand Magnus of 89% defense break. You can kind of assume that all of her break is going to go to 89%. That because these are like very abbreviated previews. These are not like
exactly. It's not that she's just getting the defense break to 89. It would make sense that the spirit break would go to 89 as well, at least, and maybe even the attack and magic. Who knows?
I would assume all 4.
But that change, actually, now that we jumped into Cacteria, I think that change is great. So that change puts her 1% below the meta for the breaker, right? But given the amount of support that Cacteria has over, say, someone like, well, actually, Louise has a lot of support, so she's a really bad example. But if you're bringing Hawkeye as your 90% defense breaker, right? Hawkeye's not gonna really do that much else for your team. Like he's not really gonna be imbuing and shit. Cacteria, though, she can do a lot more.
It's true, and of course we don't have the full kit yet, and maybe after seeing the whole kit I'll change my mind. But I am a little bit salty that it's 89 instead of 90 because like she does have like a big toolkit, but truthfully most of it is just fluff. Like she's really just a breaker and 2 imbues. That's all she honestly does.
But she's also getting morale damage, so you don't know if she might actually be a competent damage dealer too.
Yes, if that's the case, then fine. 89 break is balanced. Laura Croft being a 90 breaker and the best at everything else in the game maybe is overboard.
Yeah, Lara is kind of the exception to the rule. Really, if you have her, obviously you're not even thinking about Hawkeye. But obviously, I think this sounds promising, right? Depending on how much damage she does, and if it's a spirit-based fight, you might even choose Cacteria over Luis. I don't know. It very much depends on your roster, right? But and her damage. But she's also getting some LB damage too, so you're seeing that. And as you said, stronger fist in peril, which is also good. So I'm gonna say interesting overall. Honestly, interesting overall. But let's jump back to my girl Noppy, okay? Because Noppy, of course, is also getting morale-based damage on her Kupo Barrage, which is her main ability, and it gets much stronger after her LB. But there's this other Noppy fan, like there's literally only 2 of us, but there's this other Noppy fan in the Discord, and he actually... Wait, hold on. What were you going to say?
I picked Noppy as my envy of choice.
Oh, nice.
I like Noppy.
So there might be dozens of us then. There might be dozens of us. Okay. But there's a problem with this. Noppy is an SR chainer. That's how she does her damage. Because she uses her LB, and then she needs to triple cast her SR chain to do her burst. We don't really have anyone to chain with, right?
Technically true, but I'm going to go on a limb and say that Maeve is going to be triple SR because Bohemia's got triple SR. I feel like Maeve is intended to be the literal upgrade to Behemi, so I think she will as well. Also, Ling can grant SR to anyone in the party, and then for Dark Visions, if you're going Dark Visions, you can technically use the throwing coins for SR as well.
That's that. Good points. Good points. Especially the Ling one, since she usually has a slot, like, or she's likely to have a slot on your team in Cow. So at least she could be the chaining partner for Noppy then. But let's see what it turns out to be. I mean, the mods could still obviously be garbage, right? We don't know. It could just be like technically it's morale damage, but it's nowhere near meta. Let's see. Although I want to say so far units that have gotten morale damage are actually getting proper damage. Like even Ibarra, who was an Envy upgrade, just like Noppy and Cacteria, she actually got a relevant boost to her damage.
It's true, and I certainly hope so because I really, really want to use Noppy. Although I am a little concerned just because of Global's history and Noppy being an older unit, and Global just seems to hate upgrading older units to be meta. So I hope so. I really hope she is.
Let's see. Well, the difference here is I guess they are GLEX, both of them, so maybe that helps a bit because Ibarra being a GLEX Halloween unit kind of, well, at least got something decent. So let's see.
Yeah, Ibarra was pretty decent, so that is hopeful.
And I mean, if you think about it this way, so if Noppy also gets the upgrade to the variance, right, she'll actually be able to use her STMR, which is actually a really good weapon if variance stays as is, right?
If Global brings the variance patch this week, that'll be a huge indirect boost to Noppy. Absolutely.
Yeah. And she's also getting that greatsword Imperil, right?
Yes.
Which is also something that she lacked before. So, technically, Noppy could be a really good unit. I love the fact that you could use her together with Maeve or with Behemi. Well, Behemi, obviously, you already can, but with Maeve as well. They could be a really cool combo as well. So hey, I am all for this. I am all for these news. I think they're great. And I think we said everything about Cacteria too, right? Yeah, she's getting morale damage, and I do think she's... So what they showed here, Desert's Fury is one of her cooldowns, if not her Magnus, right? But I think that she's actually getting morale damage on more abilities, because the intro text actually says, change damage type to morale-based damage for certain abilities. So I'm assuming it's more than one.
I'm fairly sure that they're going to upgrade the water one as well. Yeah, or Desert's Fury is her primary chain for Earth.
Oh, it is? Okay.
I think like Oasis is her water one.
Yeah. Oh, I always mix these up with the actual CDs or the Grandis she has that are like her big. That's the Imbue Peril though. Yeah, that's actually the Imbue Peril. That doesn't do damage. So okay. Yeah. All right. So I hope this is going to be exciting. So both Cacteria and Noppy are EX2 units for me. So that's also nice. I would like, I'm one of those plebs. I don't have EX3 of all my units. So that would be a nice boost maybe to my cow teams. And I guess...
And real quick before we move on, just like to throw it out there as a mention, anyone that doesn't have the fan design units, they are running a bundle that you can pick a fan design unit of choice.
Yes.
Of any of the 6.
And just to note, like, so if Noppy is good, obviously you could pick up Noppy, but I also want to mention, shout out my boy Kresnik, who is in that bundle, who is one of these surprisingly awesome units, as well as Bulwark. So a lot of goodies in this bundle. This is actually, depending on the cost, this could be a very worthwhile bundle to buy, right?
Yes, and according to people have said, like, you can usually tell the cost by the graphic of the chest. They're saying it's a Lapis bundle, not a cash bundle. But as far as how much, we don't know.
So this could technically be a 5K Lapis bundle then, or something?
5K, 10K, 15K, yeah. We don't really know.
Yeah, 5K does sound a bit low, honestly, to be able to select one of these units, because each... I mean, every unit except Noppy and Cacteria are top tier in this bundle. And if Noppy and Cacteria get upgraded, then literally, like, this is a ticket for a top tier unit. So
correct.
Okay, but we do have one more upgrade to talk about, I guess. So maybe we should do that. So
2 more, actually.
2 more? Okay, I only know of Rain. Is there one more?
You forgot Fina.
Oh, okay, yeah. Fina does get her NVA finally. 5 months late. Okay, but let's do Rain first. So is this relevant? Like, what isn't this like? Didn't Rain get his upgrades super long time ago in JP?
Well, yes and no. Rain's had multiple, I think 3, maybe 4 different batches of upgrades. We've gotten none of them on global.
Wow.
So some of these are extremely late.
Listen, you JP players have it so nice. Well, I guess you're technically both a JP and GL, but it's so nice to get like old units relevant again. So are we getting all of them then? Are we getting like a big pack of goodies?
From a first glance, it does seem like they're just doing it all at the same time. So we're getting the EX skills, we're getting the unit revamp where it just upgrades skills by default. We're also getting the crown upgrades. So yeah, it seems like we're getting everything.
Wow, so actually crown upgrades? Good thing we have so many fucking crowns, Gumi, that we can use on these units.
Rain takes 8 crowns to upgrade. We've gotten 2 on global, so good luck with that one.
So I guess like you can get +2 on one of his abilities, right? And the first one is what? It's a damage ability, right? It's Extreme Blade. And it becomes a Magnus and does, well, seems like 200x, right?
No. Let me just get it out of the way right away before anyone gets misled. Rain is still terrible at damage.
Okay.
He is a support unit. His damage is still very, very. It's better, but it is nowhere near the meta.
Okay, so you're not going to use this. Okay.
Yeah, he's a support unit. Now it does do a 150 fire in peril, which is obviously good for your entire party for the real damage dealers.
True, and fire is actually a really good team in GL as well. So. That's actually a very good point. Like it gets to 145 if you just throw your 2 crowns at him, which is actually really good.
The highest in the game by a good
hey,
amount.
If we does Belladonna disappear when Cow arrives? She does, right?
Yes, she goes away this maintenance.
Okay, yeah, and I guess the other ability is actually just pure shit. Or wait,
no, it's the highest fire amplify in the game. It's 55 amplify for the entire party. That's really good.
It is for the entire, because I was just about to ask. This is worded as if it is for him, so I thought he was just getting an amp.
Oh, you're right. I'm reading it on the news. The news is unclear, but okay, I'll tell you. Yes, it's an AOE party amplify. It's very, very powerful. Now, is it worth 4 crowns? That's more debatable. For me, it's not.
Maybe not 4, but maybe 2.
Well, 2 of them only gives you a 50 amp, which, now that I'm thinking about it, that would be the highest in the game for AOE. Because
there's no unit that can do 50. Like even Roka and the others, they have 45, right?
Well, actually, for fire, no one can even do 30. No one can even do 45. I mean, the highest is 30 from Aerith.
Yeah, exactly.
Aerith and Vivi.
Yeah.
We are in the future. Leftia, the one of the season 4 units coming relatively soon. She does the bigger fire amplify, but range.
Wait, did you say Leftia? Does she have a sister called Rightia? What the fuck?
It is a strange name, and it could be translated differently when it officially releases the global. But as far as the JP goes, she is called Leftia.
Okay, interesting. But yeah, I mean, I definitely see myself dropping. Like, I love fire teams due to also my love of Terra. Although I guess like Amp wouldn't apply to her.
No. Amplify does apply to Evoke. Fields do not.
Right.
Fields still convoluted. I know.
Yeah. So Louise doesn't help Terra, but Rain would with his 50% amp. Okay.
Yes.
Well, I mean, this sounds like a good candidate to drop some crowns on it. Honestly, even 1 crown, you're getting that 45%, which is still the highest in the game.
It is. I believe just unupgraded at all, it's a 30% amp. Like I said, he also gets just flat out unit upgrades like Noppy and Cacteria are getting. So just when you log in, his amp is automatically 30%, which is higher than it is today.
That's good. It's getting some more killers too, I guess. His limit burst does get upgraded. I think it's such a shame that Rain was good for like a half of a week or something. Because I think his sprite is cool. I think his Brave Shift is amazing. I think his limit burst is amazing. I think his kit also, the way that he bursts with like a chain LB finisher. I like that. But yeah, I guess he does get a lot of these upgrades for damage. He gets like 500 static attack and stuff. But
I mean, to be fair, for people that love Rain, I mean, he's going to be usable. When I say he's not going to be like meta, I mean that in the literal
Lara
sense.
Croft.
He just won't be Lara Croft tier or Sephiroth tier, but he's still way better than he was today. when he
Right.
gets these upgrades on Thursday.
Right. Okay. But that's good to know. That's good to know. There are some Rain fans out there, although I feel like it's a losing battle because most of them are last will simps. But like there are some Rain fans out there, and I'm one of them. So I'm happy that my boy Rain is getting some more. Like you never know. Maybe you
Well,
can use him on like a story event or something, or like one of
luck,
those. Yeah.
luckily in the future, you get Rain and Lastwell in the same unit.
Yeah, that's the dumbest shit ever. I can't wait until that banner drops on GL because I'm gonna shit all over it. Oh my god, that's dumb. But hey, it's still a ways off. But I can't wait to shit on it. Like I cannot wait. Okay, but we're getting Rain. Now let's jump into Fina. So this becomes a very relevant unit. We're getting free story Fina gets her NVA. And yeah,
Oh, this
Cesar,
is so
tell us why
late.
she's OP.
Oh, this is so late. She was so good for the Final Fantasy Brave Exvius Chronicle battles, which were like the Will of the Oblivion and the Tetra Sylphie. You guys were like, huh? What are you talking about? Yeah, those are those battles you did like 4 months ago and forgot about. She was supposed to be the like MVP for those fights.
Right.
And we didn't have her because she has like AoE fairy killers and the proper imbues for the party, etc. She is now basically whatever.
Yeah, I
She is
guess.
a great free STMR. What you're getting for free just for logging in. Her STMR is wonderful, so that's good.
So
And you
what does
get
that do? It has high-ish stats on like 55 attack, 45 magic, 55 spirit, some defense, boost light resistance, and oh my god, 100% fairy killer. Oh, okay, that's pretty fucking
yes,
strong.
that's a very good for a pretty rare killer. So yeah,
Yeah,
great
absolutely.
STMR, amazing, amazing, amazing. And then the TMR is decent as well. It's LB damage with a lot of stats. It's not bad.
Yeah, true, true. That's actually like just slightly worse than what's his face, the slacker mage Mellows TMR for mages, or
Mm-hmm.
STMR for mages. TMR, sorry, TMR.
Yep, same thing for Guardian Blade Charlotte for the physical side.
Right. So, what's up with her eye in her brave shift? Like, like did I miss a story thing here? Because she looks like she has like a weird cybernetic implant in her right eye.
I have literally never noticed that. I have no idea. I have never noticed that till you pointed it out. I couldn't tell
Listen,
you.
because like it's bothering the shit out of me. I am looking at it and I can't. Okay, because there are these like nice star. Okay, whatever. Somebody can explain it to me in Discord why she has a cybernetic eye. Maybe she lost the eye in season 3 story. Weirder things have happened. Somebody, you know, I don't know. I'm not even gonna say what I was about to say because that would be just horrible. Let's move the fuck on.
Okay.
What do we have to talk about more? Well, obviously, new cow, right? We're getting a Hydra, a 3-headed Hydra.
Yes, I am hyped for this. I love Clash of Wills. I'm all in for Clash of Wills. So this is amazing. We don't really
Seems
know what it does other than the fact that it's a beast and dragon race. It's weak to earth, light, and dark. And it apparently punishes you for not only using your limit burst, but when your limit burst fills to the maximum, you're also getting punished. That sounds pretty interesting to me, and I'm curious how that's gonna
I wonder
turn
if
out.
they are separate or if it's just kind of like it's either or, and if you use your LB when it's filled, you just get one counter, maybe. Or if it's kind of it's two different counters and you're gonna get countered twice if you use the LB on the turn it's filled.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but just like a little kind of like amusing thing is the fact that Warring Spirit fills your LB to max on turn 1. Like, are we going to get 6 counters on turn 1 because everyone has Warring Spirit these days?
That's actually true. That's actually very interesting.
It's
Well,
going to
I
be
mean,
kind of
also
funny.
the counter, like we don't know, like the data is not here. The counter could also be completely irrelevant and provocable, and resistible. So you don't
Yeah,
know.
we have no clue. No idea.
But we do know that it seems to be restoring its HP every turn, unless you disease it. So I guess like the only free source of disease would be toxic rain, or is there something else?
Itachi's TMR, the throwing weapon, one-handed, gives disease 100%.
Mm,
You could also do things like Summer Whip that do disease 80%, which is almost guaranteed if you're doing it on a multicaster.
right.
So there's plenty of ways to passively do it. Kresnik applies it passively every single turn.
Oh shit, yeah,
Uh,
Kresnik. Oh my god, MVP Kresnik again. Yes.
but
Well,
the thing
actually,
is,
yeah.
do we even care if it's healing? Like this is a cow boss. You literally do 6 times its max health in a burst turn. Like,
But you don't know if
do I
that's the
do
case,
I
right?
care that it's healing the full? I mean, yeah, we don't know, but
I mean,
I'm
because
I'm
that's
like
not what
wondering.
people did. Like, or well, I guess technically we didn't do that last cow because there was an HP lock. Um, but I feel that last cow was also tankier. So maybe
It
this is
was
a
so it,
very tanky boss. So maybe you're not bursting it like 100 to 0. Maybe this cow is more about finding the perfect sweet spot in doing your maximum burst for score, and then also
mhm.
killing the boss maybe later even because you're not doing it to 0 or something. That's going to be
Yeah.
interesting.
Something else I will point out, that assuming that this is a big deal, is it's not the best way to handle this, because if you remember Demon Chimera, where he heals if he's not diseased,
Right?
and more importantly, do you remember that disease fades at the start of the enemy's turn?
Right. So you never
So
know.
that's,
Yeah.
yeah, that's not the best way if they wanted to handle it. I'm not sure how this is
Yeah,
going
of
to
course, and
work.
you can't reapply disease like you can't refresh its duration by reapplying disease. You have to wait for it to wear off, right?
Correct. Yes. Well, if you try to reapply it, it just won't work. It has to fade to be
Yeah.
refreshed.
So meaning that you might still get a tick. But again, it could also be what you're saying in that it's completely irrelevant because you're still bursting the boss 100 to
Hmm.
0 or HP lock to 0, right? Um,
Yes.
so let's see. I'm as excited as you. I also am excited because I do feel they are Orgumi is experimenting a bit more with cow compared to like obviously they're doing nothing with DV. We're just getting the JPDV, but but right, because they are experimenting. We're getting a bit of different trials every time. Again, last
Oh,
cow had the HP locks. There are different stuff happening. Like we had the zombie stuff, right?
oh, absolutely. And that is exactly the reason I'm so in love with Clash of Wills, is because it is not the brain dead, boring ass, tired ass Dark Vision. You can tell that I'm bitter because I hate Dark Visions, but
Yeah.
I love Clash of Wills. So I am so happy that it's mixed up every month instead of, oh, it's the exact same boss with an element swap, which is all Dark Visions is.
No, I love that too, and I can't wait to see what unique mechanics we're gonna see this time. And how like because we actually had to build real teams to actually just get clears last time. I like that. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually engaging. So I hope like last cow was probably the most fun I've had in this game for a long time. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just gonna say it because that's it's true. Um, but okay, let's move on. Oh shit! Like this episode is dragging on, but there was so much to talk about. Um,
It's a lot of news.
we are getting season 4 as well. Oh my god, there's so many news left. But season 4 is coming out already, which is quite soon. And from like some JP players are actually saying season 4 story is decent. So
Enjoy
it's
it. I enjoy it more than season 3.
yeah, it's not so much like sexy poses towards babies, but maybe actual like an RPG story.
It is. It's a little more serious. It's not like just a bunch of goofiness like the season 3 was. Yeah,
You mean except for the part when Rain and Laswell fuse into a single being?
well, that's a side story. That's actually technically not even part of season 4, to be
No, so
honest.
it's not a season 4 thing. It's more just that like
It
Rain.
is.
Would you say that Rain and Laswell become one?
Well, they've always been one in the
True,
in the
true.
primary
But
story.
this is kind of official, right? Like they're like I'll just picture myself them,
Well,
having
well, no,
sex.
no, no. The like the JP dev team specifically said this is an offshoot side story. This is not related at all to the actual story. This is like a side event that has no connection to the main story.
Oh,
So
okay, okay. Sure,
I'm not sure.
okay.
I'm not sure why they did that. They should have just made the main story. But I don't know. Who knows?
But honestly, I also feel that we're getting a bit more of a mature character design, or I don't know if I want to call it mature. I want to call it less um actually less anime, more western. Maybe that's what I'm going for. I don't know what I'm going for, but when I look at these characters in season 4, and especially some of them that actually also get NVs pretty soon, I feel they have more of a, you
They
know,
are influenced by War of the Visions art
yeah, that's
style.
exactly what I was going to say. I think that they look very much War of the Vision.
Yeah, it's honestly probably the exact same artist that worked for War Division that probably did all these characters, which is fine because the characters look good in my
No,
opinion.
exactly. I agree. They look great. They look great, and it's a bit different. So yeah, I can't wait to start the story. Honestly, I want to see what this is all about, and hopefully, I won't skip the cutscenes.
Mm.
What else did we miss? Okay, we maybe didn't miss that much because you already talked about the bundle that you can exchange for one of the unit design units. Oh, the Fortuna Pass. So what is
Oh yeah.
this?
This one is where you can buy the pass. It's similar to like Fountain of Lapis and Adventurer Crest, and if you buy it, you get like a small stuff at the beginning, like the 400 Froststone at the beginning, and then if you clear all of Clash of Wills, you get all the extra milestone rewards. Overall, it doesn't seem super appealing. It obviously depends on the person. You have to make your own decision, but I think I'm going to be skipping this one. It doesn't really have anything like catch my eye. I guess a little bit of extra Froststone is nice. It's
Yeah,
1,000 extra, but that's like not even 1/3 of a Neovision's pick. So I'm I'm
yeah,
not
it
happy
might
about
give
that
you
one.
like some of the trash, or not trash, but the excess rewards, right? After you've picked your 3 units, or sorry, 2 units.
Yeah,
Um,
if I remember correctly, oh, now that I'm thinking about it, last season we had 1,500 extra of the purple drops. So, assuming you buy this pass this month and for the final boss of season 2, I guess you would get one extra Neovision's pick.
yeah,
The problem is the units on the list are none that I really care about personally. But if
true.
someone needs more on that list, I guess depending on the price, it could be good value because you're getting literally a Neovision of choice from a small list.
Yeah, I honestly don't like we're getting 2 battle passes. Like, I could see this being part of our normal battle pass, and just that the normal battle pass costs a bit more. Because I actually enjoy the adventurers pass. That's one I just pick up because I think it's fun and it gives me extra goals to work towards. So I like that. But I am with you on this one. I just don't see the value for me in this. Honestly, I'll probably just keep the adventure pass. That's the one I care about.
Yeah, and it depends on the price too. Like if this new Fortuna pass is 99 cents, well, I'm probably going to buy it. But if it's like $10, then probably not. So
Yeah,
it really depends on that price point.
true, 100% true. All right, and with that, I think we actually went over everything. We didn't really talk about Maeve's card, but yeah, so it's a
It's
strong
whatever.
defense and spirit card. Well, I mean, it's not bad for a tank that actually needs to shift,
Yeah,
right?
it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad or good. It's just like a mid tier card, which is fine. It's not like something you can't skip. It's not something that you cry about like stupid. What's her name? Roka's card.
Yeah.
Worthless.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly. Well, let's see. Maybe that also means the unit is OP. So who knows? Who knows? I still hope Maeve is good. I also hope I shitter her. I've had insane shitter like luck lately, so I've been shittering like units regularly. So let's see. Maybe I just get a free Maeve out of nothing.
I hope you do.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks. I have nothing to summon her with, so like
Oh,
it's gonna be
geez.
dailies or nothing.
And I guess as a quick final mention, we're getting Item World. That's all
Oh
there is
yeah,
to
yeah.
say about
True.
it.
That's actually really good because one thing I know people are shitting on Duran. I'm not because I enjoy that game. So I like my Duran. I need to run his STMR through Item World, and he's also one unit that gets like a tiny buff from the variance fix, I guess, because he really wants to use his STMR. Um,
Assuming you have a Sword and Peril on your team, because for some reason he can't do one.
yeah, that's also so dumb. That's also so dumb. Yeah, I said this in the chat, but like I used Duran. I was hoping he was going to be good because he gets stat boosts and like he has okay mods. I was going to use him in against Belladonna. Motherfucker does less than a third of Sephiroth's damage. All right, what the fuck? I didn't even expect that. I was thinking, like I geared him really aggressively, so I was like, he's probably gonna clock in at maybe 70, 80%. He did less than a third. Like, what the shit? That's a like I
I
like that's
know.
a support unit.
I actually did damage calcs for all 4 of the Trials of Mania, and I was going to do a video of it, but then I decided against it. Like it was going to be kind of like honestly like a really negative video, and I didn't want to be like a downer.
Yeah.
But yeah, Angela is fine. The other 3, not so much. They're
Yeah.
all bad, other than Angela.
Yeah, I guess Duran still has that thing where if we ever would get content where constant damage matters, then yes, but we don't. So moot point.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, and this little segment about Duran that accounts for the episode that we missed. So all is good. Like everything is now repaired.
There you go, guys.
Yeah. All right, Sinzar. Thanks for chilling.
All right. See you next week.
See you next week.